Richard Todd, all-time Bama legend.
I don't know about that.
Oh yeah, well I do,
I don't
and
know
everybody
about that.
watching does too. How are you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm great. How's your health?
I've been better.
You've been better?
But I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be 70, almost 72.
Well,
November 19th.
so we're the same age.
I've made it, yeah.
We recently visited the almost 72-year-old legendary quarterback at his home at the Darby Cattle Farm in Florence. Todd graduated from Davidson High School in Mobile, along with our good friend John Dees, former Auburn player and pastor at Cross Point Church in Madison. The two have been lifelong friends. John and Richard both had committed to play football at Auburn.
My great friend Johnny Lee Dees tells this story always. Pastor down at Cross Point Church there in Madison. Been knowing John since the 80s. He says he was an Alabama fan growing up in Mobile. Y'all went to Davidson High School. Both of y'all were going to Auburn.
That's true.
And the story is,
I at the very end, I changed my mind because I just wanted to play for Coach Bryant. I called John and told him, he goes, "Oh, I'm going to go to Alabama too." I said, "Okay, great." So then he called back like the next day and said, "I've talked to my dad, and my dad said I made a commitment,
right,
and you can't break your commitment." And I said, "Well, I guess I broke my commitment, but I'm going to Bama." But
well,
I liked Auburn.
We're glad
now.
you did.
Auburn, I loved Auburn. Pat Sullivan,
Yeah.
nicest guy in the world. You know, there were no recruiting rules back then. I went to Alabama one time. You know, Coach Bryant said, you know, they're not going to throw anymore if I come up there. I was, you know, the coach asked me to ask him that. He smoked. It was so funny. He's smoking a cigarette, and he said, will we throw more if you come up here? And he takes a puff, and he goes, "Nope." And then he said, he takes another puff, and he goes, "We had one of the best passers here ever, and it was Scott Hunter," and said, "We went like 6-6. So takes another puff. "If you come here, we're going to throw more." "Nope." So,
But you went.
But I went later on. But back then you could
Right.
go. Yeah, I went to Auburn like 5 times. There were no recruiting violations back then. I think you can only go one official visit. I'd go to Auburn all the time because I like Pat Sullivan. He was
What
awesome.
was y'all's record at Bama? Win-loss record while you were there?
We won. We lost a game every year. We lost the bowl game. Well, 73 when I was second team behind Jeff Rutledge, and we lost to Notre Dame in the national championship. Where we were UPI. They didn't care about the national, the bowl games. So we were UPI national championship, and Notre Dame was the AP since they beat us. Well, I got one of my best friends I know, Wes Pritchard. He's a good guy. He went to Notre Dame.
All right, you came in, you did that. You go to the Senior Bowl. You have an outstanding day, and now everybody knows you.
Well, it was kind of funny because I talked to Ray Perkins, and Ray Perkins was at the Senior Bowl coaching for New England, and he was opposing us, and we were coached by Chicago. And I was talking to him. He goes, we'll think you go in the 4th or 5th round because you're a good athlete. You can do different things. I said, great. I just want to get a chance to play. So I guess it was a bad year for quarterbacks, but I had, but I got there, and I'm going like, we threw an average of 6 times a game my senior year, and we played a lot of quarterbacks too. It wasn't just me. So we only threw 6 times a game. That's average. And I had a good game in the Senior Bowl, but I think it's more practice because I got down there and I said, I'm as good as these guys.
And Lou Holtz calls you.
Yeah, Lou Holtz. Yeah,
he's coaching the Jets.
Yeah, he's coaching the Jets, and it's so funny back then. Not the hoopla like it is now with the. So he calls up, and to be honest, I went out that night in Tuscaloosa and had a little too much to drink. So the phone rings at like 10:30 or whatever it was, 9:30.
The morning.
Yeah, in the morning. It's a Saturday morning, and he goes, "Richard, this is Lou Holtz. We're about to draft you." I said, "Yes, sir. Not gonna be any trouble signing you, is there?" And I go, "No, sir." And I hang up the phone. He hangs up the phone, and that was it. And then about 1 o'clock, a sports writer from Tuscaloosa News called up and says, "Congratulations." And I said, "Oh, what?" and he goes, "You were the 6th player picked in the draft." I go, "I was," which that mean a lot now. Back then, it wasn't. That
and then you go to the Jets and you replace Joe Namath.
Yes.
Number 14, Richard Todd left the Crimson Tide and coached Bear Bryant about the time I started my career at Channel 31. And except for a brief interview, this was the closest I ever got to Coach Bryant. Richard Todd went on to the NFL and replaced Joe Namath with the Jets, and later played for the Saints.
Now, were you and Namath good friends before that?
Yeah, I met Joe my sophomore year because he'd come down and work out, and we developed a friendship then. I'd run routes for him. He wouldn't run routes for me. But, you know, Joe was my idol, you know, so I loved working out with him and playing. We'd go eat now and then. And
now, you and Joe still stay in touch?
Yeah, I've talked to Joe a couple times, 2 or 3 times.
So when you go to New York, Joe Namath, obviously, have the Jets called you to come back?
No. I'm sure they've seen me walk.
What do you do now?
I've been in the brokerage business for, I don't know, over 40 years, 25 with Bear Stearns, and then 10 with JP Morgan, all in Atlanta. And then went to Oppenheimer.
So you're basically
for
a financial
years.
Genius.
No, I wouldn't say I wouldn't say, I got a PE degree. I'm not a financial genius. But I'm, you know, we got good products. I work for Raymond James downtown, work for Ken Taylor and Chris Dixon and John Sparks.
So what do you do here at this big, beautiful Yellowstone-looking farm?
Try to make my wife happy.
We all do
with
that.
With all the animals. She loves the animals. She is an animal.
So what all you feed a day?
Well, my wife, we got, I don't know, there's like 300 Brangus around here, and she has people that do that. And then at night, I don't know why she doesn't let them do a little more work later on in the afternoon, but she doesn't. So we go feed about 16 barn cats and bottle feed like 7 calves right now, and then 2 horses and some deer.
So you're not milking a cow every morning, gathering eggs or nothing like that?
No, she doesn't sell for breeding or milk. It's all, I mean, she doesn't sell for meat or we do milk. It's all breeding. She sells for breeding.
So North Alabama's your home. It has been.
Oh, it has been for long, since 1982.
You miss anything about football?
Yeah, I'd like to be playing now, but I don't know if I'd be any good with these guys nowadays. You know, it'd be great to make that kind of, I mean, these guys make generational money now. It's not like you, like I did, you quit and you got to find another job. These guys, there's Darby Lou, that's my daughter. Come on, Darby Lou, come say hello.
So you're just living the life of a former, because like I was telling Gloria on the way over here, I said, growing up in Alabama, the Alabama quarterback was as popular or more popular than the governor.
Well, it depends on if you're winning. If you're winning, that has a lot to do with it.
Being the quarterback of Alabama, how big a job is that?
Back then, it seems, the more I think about the 4 years at Alabama and Coach Bryant, it brings, and all the friends made, like Bob Baumhauer is still one of my best friends. I talked to Mike Stock, Rick Watson, Joey Pizzatola. Alan Pizzatola was a great friend of mine who passed away, and I still talk to his wife Suzanne and their kids. I see them at the ball games. It's just.
What about Conley Duncan?
Conley Duncan, I was about to say, I meant to tell him you were coming over, but I don't think he'd want to come with us.
Did you play with Duffy Bowles too?
Yeah, I did.
I know
Duffy.
Duffy.
Yeah,
Duffy. I know Duffy.
I saw Duffy and Andy Gothard, the Huntsville club.
So you still stay in touch with some of these people?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we talk when we see each other.
Right. I got to ask you, like when Bama plays, are you on a thread with all these guys?
Yeah, with about 5 of them.
And y'all are going through it, criticizing or coaching or say, well, I can't believe they're doing that, or what a bad call, or what do y'all do on a thread?
It's a lot easier to criticize now that Coach Saban isn't there. When Saban was there, you really didn't have any reason to criticize, but you couldn't. He's too good of a coach to even second guess him. But our coach is going to do fine. It takes a while.
Well, I'm on a thread with a bunch of preachers. You ought to hear what they're doing. Golly, I can't believe that.
Oh, I know. I'm sure.
So how would you rate Coach DeBoer now? What he's going to do? Because that first game, he's out of here.
Well, let's just rate the whole SEC. The SEC is the toughest conference in football, top to bottom. It's not even close. And DeBoer, it's hard to come in here and replace Saban. I mean, like it was Coach Bryant. It took 10 years to find the coach to get to finally take Saban's place. Besides Stallings in the middle there, but I think DeBoer is going to. You got to give him time, and he's. It seems like they're improving.
Was Bear? Was he that tough?
Coach Bryant, like. He was hard nosed. It's all different now. College football is about money now, and it's no loyalty. Back then there's loyalty, and he treated everybody the same. Like we said, there's nobody special. don't want to say he treated everybody like a dog, but I mean, you know, we were all treated the
Has your
same.
buddy and our idol Joe Namath settled down?
I hadn't seen him in quite a few years. but
Compared
yeah,
to
the
what he
last-
used to be.
Yeah, of course.
Did you ever visit him in New York in his apartment and all that?
No, but we used to hang out when my rookie year when I was with them. We'd go eat, and a couple times
Was he well known still up there?
Oh
then?
yeah, are you kidding me? Yeah, it's like, and I remember he had I'd never tried snuff. He always liked Copenhagen. So I'm riding, we're leaving practice, we're going to dinner to drink, and I'm gonna stay at his place. So I drive down with him in his convertible, and he does this Copenhagen. I said, let me have some of that. So he said, just put it in between your teeth. So I did that and had a spit cup and riding his convertible doing that. And I get down to New York City and the buildings are just like, I said, how do you, I'm sick. It's just horrible. I remember that.
You didn't
But
swallow
no,
that
Joe,
snuff, did
no, I didn't swallow it, but it just made you sick.
So you were literally up to snuff. You've heard that on
Right, yeah, I was up in the snuff.
Anything else I need to know about the legendary Richard Todd?
No, I got my family here. That's what's important. Darby Lou lives outside of Nashville, south of Nashville, and her husband and kids are here. And Jimmy, my youngest, in Tuscaloosa, and Gator, you know, head coach at Kentucky Golf, and they got 2 kids, so we're kind of spread out all over the South, which is good.
Thank you for your time. We're going to do one other thing here in just a second. But
Yes,
anyway,
sir.
Richard Todd, a dream come true for we Alabama fans. What an honor it is. And in Florence, with an Alabama original, with a true Bama legend, Richard Todd. I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper.
All right,
I'm going deep.
go deep.
I'm going deep.
Like 10 yards.